considered matching you and Courtney.
I would have left the show after like a week. She was trash at pickleball. Cheers. Chill, man.
What's happening?
I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm just saying, I don't think it would work out.
Adam has to be the most vile cast member of this season. Excuse me? Excuse me? And the fact that he has a girlfriend disgusts me even more. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight season 20, episodes 19 and 20. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Was that reunion long? It was an hour and 20 minutes, but I will say I was engaged the whole time. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I feel like some people should have gotten more questioning, but guys, we can't have an absolutely perfect reunion. I think for what we got, it was good. Y'all let me know if you disagree, but I enjoyed it. We're gonna start with episode 19. We were left on a cliffhanger with Tori and Felipe's decision. We find out that what Felipe had said to Tori was that he thinks about cheating on her all the time. That he came on the show for money and clout, but he does like her.
I have some therapy that I fucking need to go to. I don't want to hurt you, and I fucking like you. The two things I know for fucking certain.
In what world does Felipe live on?
Did you tell Tori you still had thoughts of cheating on her?
She did a diary cam on that. She asked me, have you cheated on me? I'm like, of course not. I truly believe it's like right person, wrong time.
This man is deranged. He is deranged. After all that he said, and it's even more annoying when you hear his justification at the reunion, but let me not jump, okay? He says, you know, yes, I did say those things, but maybe we can fix it in therapy. Therapy? You need to be in a padded room. What are we talking about here? Therapy. So she's like, you know what? I feel like we should just go our separate ways. He's like, but can we be friends? I wouldn't even let acquaintances speak to me the way that he spoke to her. And you think you could be a friend? Whatever his justification for saying that was, he's insane. He's insane. So then in the confessional, she's like, yeah, he said all of this off camera. And obviously we're seeing a diary cam of her saying it. So then they asked him and he's like, wait, she said that? So not only did you say it, you were deliberate about saying it off camera. You thought that she wasn't going to bring it up? You need to be in a padded room. You do. You do. You thought you would say some cash crazy things to her. She would shut up about it, either be with you or be friends with you, and you would get away with that? You're insane. One last thing before I move off of Felipe. This man is like, oh, I would have never actually cheated on her. That would never cross my mind. I never want to hurt her. I'm pretty sure your ex felt the same. I'm pretty sure your ex also got that same spiel. Please. Next was Belle. Belle is speaking to the experts about decision day, and they're like, listen, we do understand that you are very fond of this man. You do have strong feelings for this man, and he has gone through a lot and he has made strides. However, we don't want you to make a decision that forces you to abandon yourself in order to make somebody else feel better. She didn't take their advice.
I thank you for everything. I've learned so much about myself just being with you. You've had to lean into some very hard emotions. You really, really are special. It's been an emotional roller coaster. I wanted to get to a place where I felt sure. I am choosing to stay married. Kid you not, you play with me.
What?
Calling all my brothers.
Oh, girl. Oh, girl. She's like, yeah, I just want to see what's on the other side. Hasn't the evidence that you've already seen been enough to prove to you that there's much to be desired on the other side? What are we talking? She didn't even let the yes marinate before she was like, and if you do me dirty, your subconscious is literally telling you that this is a bad decision. She couldn't even marinate in the fact that they are staying together. She immediately was like, if you do me, until you do right by me. She was already cussing him out, talking about, I will sick my dogs at you. Girl, something in you must tell you that it's off. Something's not quite connecting, but okay. I did want to make a quick comment about the experts. There are a lot of opinions about them online. I do feel like you're in an impossible position, right? You're supposed to be saying, yes, we're all for marriage. Yes, go for it. Fight. Stick it out. But also, as people who are claiming to be experts, I think they should be more honest with people when things just aren't working out. And I feel like they drove the point home with Belle too little too late. Too little too late. I definitely think there should have been another group session after the couples retreat. I also think they should have those group sessions more often. I get it, the international versions have way more episodes, so it's easier for them to have the weekly check-ins and stuff. But I don't know. I felt like they had more to say and didn't for whatever reason, or maybe they did and the producers, chopped and screwed things because this is a show at the end of the day. But yeah, Tori and Felipe, I definitely think the experts did them dirty. No two ways about that. But with Mecca and Belle, I think that they were honest with Belle, just not often enough or loud enough. For Nikki and Shawn's decision day, it was an absolute train wreck. I don't know what to make of this couple, guys. I still don't know. Even after the reunion, I still don't know. So I loved that Nikki came with an apology. She was like, you know what? I shouldn't have ever made you feel belittled or undesired in this process. That's not fair to you. That's unkind. So for that, I am sorry. I was like, wow, Nikki, that's good. I hope that Shawn is going to give her an apology too. Nary an apology. Not a single. Instead, what Shawn decided to do was outline all the reasons why this woman is incompetent and she lacks emotional depth and all of this and all of that. And I was like, yo, Shawn, you're sick.
There were things that I didn't like, but I just kind of held back. You had grabbed my belly and said, look at you. You always tell the story in a way that you were the victim. I was walking on eggshells because I was like, well, if I say this, Nikki does not know how to control her emotions, so it's just gonna go left. And there's not enough emotional awareness or intelligence.
There's a hurt person inside of you. That person has produced the man you are today.
You're not a therapist, you're not a psychologist, so I don't need any of your evaluation.
These two are stuck on the Seattle comment. Guys, I'll be so for real. I don't know. I do believe that there was more context to that conversation. I still think his comment is wrong, but it's hard for me to just get on Shawn because it sounds like Nikki did say something to prompt him to say that. In general, they do tend to be like this at each other. Oftentimes it's off camera, so it's hard for us to really get a gauge on what the hell is going on. And then on camera, they pretend like everything is fine and they even progress physically. So it's like, huh? I do believe that there was disrespect on both sides. However, Nikki's disrespect pales in comparison to Shawn's disrespect. Pales in comparison. This man, so here they are talking about how things went. And she's like, you oftentimes make it seem like I'm emotionally erratic and I don't appreciate how you make it seem like I'm crazy and that my claims about you are unfounded and stuff. And I think that because I am somebody who expresses my emotions more, it makes you seem like you are even keeled when in fact you're actually incredibly insecure and you don't know how to express yourself. And that's why it looks like I'm the crazy one. So then he's gonna say, oh, you have low EQ, you have a low emotional quotient and whatever else he was saying about her. And then he said, I don't need you to give me an analysis as if you are a therapist. I said, oh, because you do that to her all the time. All the time. So you can dish it, but you can't take it. Now she's telling you about yourself. Oh, I don't need an analysis from you. Oh, shut up. See, you're gonna get me heated over a damn TV show. This is crazy. Guys, I was waiting for an apology for how this man treated this woman in the process, and it did not come. It did not come. I almost wish that Nikki then didn't apologize. Not to say she should apologize in order to get an apology, but it would have been nice to hear an apology from Shawn. You two have not been nice to each other. And on that topic, I kind of don't like when the couples make it to this point and then they speak this way to each other because they obviously hate each other. Why did you even push it to decision day? I only want to see couples who seem truly conflicted about things. And I don't think they were conflicted. I think they cannot stand each other based on how they were speaking. Now, what we saw did give conflicted. But what we're hearing gives, I've hated you this whole time. So if that's the case, let's not drag it, let's not drag it. Speaking of dragging it, oh my gosh. Next was Marissa and Adam. This man will troll to the bitter end, my God. So at first they're giving all these sweet nothings and I was like, what's going on?
This last month and a half has been absolutely amazing with you. So fun to be around, incredibly beautiful. You're an absolute vibe, insanely hilarious, extremely sweet. You are such an amazing person, and I actually, oh my God, it's getting me. Couldn't imagine my life without you. You are a vibe and a half.
Concerned that you keep your emotions buried too deep, that you might spend your whole life chasing the next thing. I promise to give this marriage every chance to succeed. The one vow I failed to keep was honesty. I wasn't honest with anyone how miserable I've been. Full sending it to a no.
When this woman said she fell in love or felt like she was falling in love with him in Cancun, I said, well, damn. That's why y'all were dragging it. Like, she was a lost cause from the beginning. She didn't stand a chance. Did not stand a chance. So they're doing the little sweet nothings, and I really thought they were going to say yes. I was so scared. I was terrified. Thankfully, she then starts to air her grievances and she says his intensity is just too much for her. She also says that he had high walls and he was unable to engage emotionally in the way that she would need in a partnership. He was like, yeah, your lifestyle just doesn't really work with me and da-da-da, whatever, which is crazy because he just finished saying like, oh yeah, you're just such a vibe and I love vibing with you and vibe this and vibe. He ended his little spiel by saying you're a vibe and a half. I said, wow, and a half. Thankfully, these two broke up. When they were like saying their goodbyes, he's like, I got you a gift. The gift is an ice cream maker. It's this big ass box in a bow. And she has to lug this thing to the car. How does he manage to still troll this girl down to the bitter end? Maybe I'm reading into it, but I thought he was trolling her in this moment. I surely did. But honestly, seeing how things went in the reunion, Marissa, I'm going to get on your ass a little bit because, hold on. I'm going to get to her. Let's end with Michelle and Cameron. They say yes. Honestly, guys, it's not a shock. He thinks that he can get over his feelings of losing his independence and blah, whatever. On to the reunion. First of all, everybody looked good. Everybody but Adam. Everybody looked good. I said, okay, very nice. We saw Caitlyn and Devon link arms and I was like, what's that? And then we saw Belle and Mecca not touch each other at all. If anything, Belle did a little flinch. I said, oh. Michelle and Cameron are the first to be addressed. They're asked if they're still married. They are still married. And hey, they said everybody shut up about this whole money thing. Me included, and let me shut up for real. Because shortly after filming Wrapped, homegirl got laid off. So she moved to Portland anyways.
Michelle wanted someone that made at least $150,000 a year.
Michelle got laid off, which I recently got a coaching job in California.
Michelle is unemployed now.
I'm a dog now. I'm a dog now.
Cameron makes more than Michelle now.
And you know what? I hold my hands up because I did say that moving to Portland would not be a smart decision. I felt like she was the one who had a more stable job and clearly a higher paying job. So why not, you know, base your plans around her and all of that. But I also said too that since she wanted to have kids and her life was really settled there and it seemed like his life was more hectic, it would make more sense for them to settle there. But even that has changed as well, which just goes to show that you cannot predict what happens in life. So hey, they made the best decision for them and I love that for them. Cameron says that he no longer questions how to make commitment last and all of that. And I'm glad because he was acting like he's the first man on planet Earth to ever pursue a long-term relationship. Like, be so for real. Be so for real. Plenty of people have made it work before. It's a decision. You have to decide to stay committed. You have to decide to feed your relationship. And if you do so, if both parties do so, you can make it work. Michelle is asked how she felt about Shawn questioning her, saying that she's settling. And she says, honestly, I think that he was just speaking from a place of hurt. I had already come at him, so he probably just got defensive. Shawn says, oh, but they didn't start by saying that I thought they were a good match and whatever. And Nikki's like, you did not say that. Can you just own what you said? Don't try to backpedal. And we just saw him nod in silence. Next was Belle and Mecca. You guys do not know how excited I was to hear that they have broken up. Oh, I was so excited. I was so okay. So apparently when the cameras stopped rolling, Miss Girl had an epiphany and she was like, ooh, what the hell am I doing?
Something in me just went, whew. Disregarded how I felt to cater to another person's feelings. I truly did not listen to you guys of like putting myself first. Your comment of saying you're dream girl, absolutely insane. It was disrespectful.
Adam asked the question and I described my preference.
Surprised that you're standing by it. I thought you were gonna be like, man, that was a bad look.
I am so glad that Belle came to the realization that she was making too many concessions for a man who would not do the same for her. She was overprotective over a man who would not do the same for her. She admitted that she was lying to herself throughout the process, which is why we were all like, girl, hello, like, what are you lying for? We could see that she was lying. We might not be able to say what exactly it is that she was lying about, because I didn't know if she felt that way about the nails thing, but we could just tell, like, there's something that Belle wants to say, but she's just not saying it. And unfortunately, when she voiced it, she was too far gone as far as the feelings were concerned. So then they rehashed the whole physical characteristics thing. And he thinks that Michelle misconstrued his words and he never said he wanted a girl with big titties. He did. He did. But even if his words were misconstrued, what we did see him say was still very unsavory and not indicative of a man who was planning to stay married with the woman that he's referring to. Like what? And he's here saying, oh, I don't even think that there's nothing wrong with what I said. I was asked a question and I answered. The same thing that was said about Felipe, you can answer a question in the way that still considers the feelings of your partner. Are these men stupid? Are they stupid? What is it, the braids? Like, I don't understand. Anyways, then Belle talks about what happened like 3 weeks into their marriage. Actually, not even. It was right away because they broke up 3 weeks after the cameras wrapped. They were going out a lot and he would flirt with all the girls. All the girls. It sounds like he doesn't discriminate. And then when he would get drunk, he would call her Bree. Who is Bree? You might ask. It's an ex-girlfriend. You're calling me, your wife, your ex-girlfriend's name? I have to kill you. I have to. What are we doing? Belle says she's disappointed in herself because watching it back, she sees how she became a shell of a woman and she knows that she was, giving this man too much leeway, but for some reason she gave it to him anyways. And then Mecca says he's confused by all this animosity and she's like, I don't even have animosity towards you. I'm just very passionate, especially seeing how, like how unrecognizable I am. And Mecca's like, oh, but we were speaking cordially not too long ago. Yeah, that's before the show aired, was it not? After seeing how you truly were acting on the show, I'm sure she's charged up yet again. So everybody's asking him like, yo, just take accountability. And he's like, well, I'm not given the chance to take accountability. You at the top of your segment, did you not say, oh, I don't think there's anything wrong with what I said? And he's like, oh, I've been taking accountability this whole time, but even when I do take accountability, you guys don't give me the chance to speak. When you did have a chance to speak, you completely evaded accountability. But fine, they give him the floor and he does his same woe is me spiel.
I haven't denied the disrespect. All I've been doing here on this couch is taking accountability.
You've been a little defensive, brother.
What have I not taken accountability for? Does anyone else have anything else to say about how shitty of a person I was on the show? We get it, okay?
Nobody's saying you're a shitty person.
Highly disappointed in what I presented on the show. I failed you, absolutely. That wasn't my intention, and that's not fair to you. I failed to be a decent man, a decent human being, a decent husband, and I do sincerely apologize for failing you in that way.
Here goes Mecca again. Oh, this is not the person I want to be. I'm so disappointed in myself. I should have never acted that way. And I'm sorry, like, it does not move me at all. It didn't move me during the season. It does not move me now. For those who watch Love Island, this is very reminiscent of Sincere. I do not care for a man who's self-aware if he does not commit himself to developing himself. What is self-awareness without self-development? Honestly, keep the self-awareness. I don't care that you acknowledge that you're doing wrong. If you're not gonna make a plan to do right, then fuck you. Ooh, see. Men like this piss me off. Like, keep the self-awareness. I don't care for it. Next is Tori and Felipe. Felipe is another man who's self-aware. And he's like, you know what? I've had some time to reflect on my behavior. I bet you have. And he's realizing that what he said to Tori was his cowardly way of saying, you should break up with me because I'm just such a bad guy. I have these thoughts, I do these things, because I'm too scared to break up with you.
I was too cowardly and say that this has been a lot for me. I wanted her to realize that she didn't want to be with me.
What more do you wish that you had said that day?
I don't think you should have ever done this experiment. I think you put me through hell. I don't think you deserve to be matched with me. I stood by you.
You had said she's everything I could want in someone.
I was absolutely infatuated with Tori.
Yeah, we delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it felt like work.
He says that in the beginning, he was really infatuated with Tori and everybody could see that. However, over time, he did a 180 because he felt like the relationship was more work than it was fun. It should be noted that the work was there because of his misgivings. Like, the fun stopped because you were doing outlandish things that a married man should not be doing or saying. He admits that his behavior was inexcusable, and then they talk to his mother. His mother says, honestly, I do believe that Felipe is a good boy. He is very caring. He is very selfless. However, seeing my son on camera was very disappointing. That is not the son that I know. And we are all disappointed in his behavior. I said, okay. I like a mama who can admit that her son ain't shit. Like, I like that. She also sends her love to Tori. Tori sends the love back. Both women got emotional because they genuinely do have love for each other. It's just that Felipe sucks. And as a mother, that must suck to witness. Like, damn, my son is the I would take that personally. If a woman was experiencing what she experienced at the hands of my son and I got to see my son acting this foolish, I would be so embarrassed. Felipe is then gonna try to blame the edits. And that's funny because everybody on that stage was there with him. Tori was there with him. How the hell can you blame the edit to people who were on the show with you? That doesn't work. Even when people try to blame the edit on social media, we don't believe it then. You're trying to blame the edit to people who were on the show with you. You're dumb. He's then going to say, oh, well, Tori was only upset at the retreat because she was preoccupied by other people's perceptions of me. No. What woman would want to be married to a guy who's proud about being a pig? Next. So Adam, in his intensity, went on a ski trip, and on that ski trip, he did sustain an injury. It led to him getting surgery, and he's currently still recovering. It should be noted that this accident probably happened maybe 2 to 3 months ago. And I say that because I feel like that's important. They didn't point it out on the show, but I feel like that's important for something I'm going to talk about later. So then Marissa is asked how she actually felt about Adam's living conditions, which is great because we have been talking about this a lot online. And she says, I actually did think it was fratty, nasty, and disgusting, but I deliberately lied on camera. For what reason, we don't know. But Marissa, listen, I do understand that man put you through it. But the way that she lied and lied and lied for Adam's sake makes it hard for me to want to side with her. And I get it, like she's been in relationships where she felt like she had to people please to the nth degree, but girl, this was embarrassing to me. So Adam is asked if he truly was torn about his decision on decision day, and he says, yes, there was a lot to consider, whatever. Most people in the room don't agree. They don't think that he was torn. Everybody but Nick. Nick actually bought into the tears.
At the end, he was even like tearing up. I mean, unless he's a phenomenal actor, but like.
You believe the tears.
And I totally believe him, yeah. Wait, are we saying that they were fake tears?
Not necessarily. Were you surprised Marissa said no? I guess I should ask you, Adam.
Not at all.
Adam says he was not surprised that Marissa said no on decision day because after that pickleball debacle, they had decided that their lifestyles were just incompatible and it was not going to work. But clearly they were faking the funk until the end. And it's really annoying. Like, I know these couples come on the show for clout. Everybody does. It doesn't matter how much y'all love somebody. Even y'all sweet little Freddie from Love is Blind, clout. Everybody who comes on reality TV is looking for clout, guys. So that's my only reasoning for why these two would stay on, knowing that it wasn't going to work out. But anyways, then Marissa details the things that happened after they broke up. Basically, he wanted to still be friends, and she was like, okay, then let's just be friends. She goes over to his place. He was asking for them to be more than friends, and she was like, that's not my vibe. Like, he was damn near begging, she made it seem like, and he's denying it, but she kept going. She then says that he reached out to her again. They went to a Halloween party, and at that Halloween party, she met a woman who said that she had DMs from Adam. She got the screenshots of those DMs. She confronted Adam about that. Adam obviously denied, and she shared the screenshots. In those screenshots, she saw messages the day of decision day the day of decision day trying to holler to some next gal. What? Then a few weeks after that, he invited her out. He wanted to have dinner, right? When they met up for dinner, he had a big ass hickey. I don't know how big it was. How big can somebody's mouth go? Like this, maybe? He had a big ass hickey on his neck during that dinner. And then she said basically the whole dinner was a pissing contest. And I get it. This is scandalous. This is whatever, very nasty work. However, why was he still able to contact you? If you did not want to be his friend, if you thought he lived in a dirty, nasty, stinky, fratty place, if you thought no part of you wanted a relationship with him, why was he still able to contact you? And why did you follow through with those engagements that he would set? Like girl, I want to be on your side, but like, you, I don't know. That's weird to me. Yeah, that's weird to me. I'm sorry. So then everybody's keying about, you know, the scandals that Adam was getting into. He does admit that he was sending that lady texts and stuff, but he says that it was nothing crazy. Like, she's blowing things out of proportion. So then the experts asked Felipe why he's having this big reaction. And he's like, you know, I'm just really close with Adam and I love tea. So it's funny hearing the tea. And Marissa was like, oh, you like tea? I got something piping hot for you.
He did not tell me any of this.
Did he tell you he also DM'd Tori on Hinge?
Oh,
shut up.
Friends with Felipe. I was
That's
literally
so
just saying
weird.
like, hi. Never pursue anyone's.
I just said a fact.
I'm just curious to hear from you, Tor.
Yeah. Hey, stranger. Fancy seeing you here. Hope you're doing well. I just deleted it.
When I tell you my jaw hit the floor, my jaw, I screamed. I had to pause my TV because I was like, what? What? He messaged. So then here's Adam, and he's gonna say, oh, I wasn't trying to holla. I was just saying hi. You know, whenever I see people on dating apps that I know, I just say hi. It's easy for him to say that because nothing materialized. Because Tori immediately deleted the message. But if Tori was down, who's to say that he wouldn't have taken her up on the offer? Who's to say? Devon chimes in saying, you know, I'm just eating this popcorn. This is all so entertaining to me, whatever. And Mecca was like, oh, funny how you have nothing to say about Adam, but you had so much to say about me and how I was out of line and this and that. So then the conversation about Caitlyn and Mecca's flirting comes up. And Bella's like, Caitlyn, I'll be honest with you. You weren't right for that.
I seen a significant difference for how you were checking Mecca when it came to me. With Felipe, it was like you had fire, but when it came to Mecca, it was a complete difference. It was like, oh my gosh, Mecca, like, why would you say that? It was flirtatious. It was a little inappropriate.
Get in that ass, Belle. Get in that ass. This is the energy I would have loved to see from Belle throughout this season. Now it's a slippery slope, because we know how these people be seeing the black girls on the reality TV shows. You know, they're quick to make us the villain. But it would have been nice to see her actually just be honest about stuff instead of constantly biting her tongue. You don't have to be super boisterous and all of that, but you could be honest. And you could have told the old girl, yo, I wasn't fooling with what you were doing. Maybe it's because she didn't get to see it. So now that she has seen it, she has things to say. And Caitlyn does admit, you know what she was doing was out of line. She claims that her intentions were pure, but she does admit that the optics weren't great. Belle does think that they were both being flirty. And she was like, you were pulling him like we were on Love Island. And if that was the case, I could have pulled Devon. I said, hold on. hold on. Anyways, she believes Caitlyn when Caitlyn says that she did not mean to make it seem like she was interested, but she's not buying Mecca's story, especially because she saw him flirt with other women who weren't even on the show. The segment ends with Marissa saying that she is single and she knows that love is out there. She's just not sure if it's out there for her, which was sad to hear. I was like, damn, like, you just had one bad experience. I mean, okay, she's had more bad experiences, but that's not to say that you can never find somebody who's well suited for you. So yeah, it was kind of sad that she said that. She did say that she has launched 2 businesses since being off the show, so good for her. We do love that. Adam is not single. Actually, let me start with his apology. I feel like his apology was half-assed towards Marissa, but he did apologize nonetheless, so fine. He then says, I am with somebody. So ladies and gentlemen, I would love to introduce you to Mother Hen.
Her name is Lizzie. We are, yeah, about
How
3
long?
months. 3 months. She's been staying with me for a bit.
Wow.
the sweetest, most genuine guy. So crazy to me, like the way he's being portrayed. Like my heart is beating at 1,000,000 miles per hour. I'm obviously gonna stand by him, like I know him. Production did a very good job at making it look like super real.
We just met, but I respectfully disagree with what you just said.
This bird was chirping. What a weirdo. This girl is weird. How was she like, oh, it was just so sad to see all these people talk about this man who's just so nice and genuine to me. You don't know him. It's been 3 months, and even that timeline is a little bit murky. We'll get into that in a second. But she was like, yeah, I don't believe anything that's being said about him. I feel like his character is being assassinated. He's a perfect guy. He's this and that. He's this and that. These two live together. They've been together for 3 months, allegedly. And they already live together in that dirty, stinky, nasty, ugly shack. Yeah? So then this bird, this mother hen is gonna say, you know, I believe it's the edit. It's the edit of a show that she didn't even watch all the way through. It's the edit that's depicting him as this evil, nasty man. And Paula's like, I'm gonna stop you right there, okay? I understand this is a show. However, all these people experienced what happened on this show. So do not try to make it seem like production is fabricating a story when these people had a lived experience, a real lived experience. Don't nullify what they experienced just because you want to come and cape for your little man, okay? So then here goes Shawn chiming in. And you know what? Shawn, the only time I ever truly like Shawn is when he's reading other couples for filth. And he's like, so can you let me know about this whole timeline thing? Because you said that y'all have been together for 3 months, but it sounds like you hit up homegirl in May to have this dinner. How does that work if y'all met in April? Here goes Adam panicking. Oh, well, I had just met her and I like, it wasn't really that deep yet. So yeah, me going out with Marissa, like it didn't really affect my relationship or whatever. Y'all are at the point where y'all are living together. Y'all are at the point where y'all are living together. You're trying to make it seem like 3 months ago, the relationship wasn't that deep to the point where you could hit up Marissa and have it not be a big deal. However, 3 months later, you are living together. How does that make sense? What I believe was this man was looking for somebody to nurse him back to health because he's a bum. Like, what? His injury happened around the time that he met this girl and all of a sudden she's living with him? Because he's a hobosexual. Girl, do you not see it? The fact that you want to cape for Adam is honestly embarrassing. Courtney says that she felt like she wasn't able to be soft in the way that Nick needed in order to open up, which is why their relationship ultimately did not work. Then Nick is asked if he felt like his polished demeanor was the reason why they were struggling to really connect. And he's like, no, I'm just a person who thinks before I speak, which is clearly something that a lot of these men could learn from.
I'm super intentional and thoughtful. I don't think it played any role in us not getting to know each other deeper.
I think you let me push you over. I'm kind of an alpha. I could say it's a flaw in me. In that way, I am sorry because it could come across as not very nice, but it's also who I am.
I just want you to open up. And then I would tell you, sometimes I feel like when I talk to you, I don't feel heard. You would literally cut me off mid-sentence, be yourself around me, like yelling at me.
Who here thinks that Courtney was rude to Nick?
Oh my gosh, why are we doing this right now?
Courtney really irritated me. She surely did. She says, she's an alpha. And she didn't appreciate that she was partnered with a man who would let her walk all over him. Why was your mission to walk over him in the first place? Like, I do understand, like, we do want a guy who's like, you know, I mean, that might not be it for everybody, but a lot of women who are straight do want a man who's, you know, like he's about something. But the fact that you, like, it felt to me like she takes pride in being a woman who has the ability to trample over a man if she needed to. And to me, that was weird. That was weird. And so she's like, oh, you were never able to be vulnerable with me. Like, you didn't want to open up or whatever. And he's like, whenever I would be honest with you, you would trample me down. You would say I'm being disingenuous. You would say that I'm not opening up or I'm not getting deep enough. So what was I supposed to do? And then she's like, oh, but this is just how I am. Like, she honestly is taking pride in the fact that she's an alpha and she can trample over guys and she needs a guy who's going to be able to push back against that. I don't know, guys, I thought it was weird. I thought it was weird. Then the experts bring out the comment about her saying that Adam was the most attractive guy there. They asked Adam how he felt about that, and he was like, yeah, I feel like that's a crazy thing to say around your partner. Then the experts say that they were close to being coupled up. They would have put Courtney and Adam together, and Adam was like, hell no, I would have left within a week. Like, she sucks at pick a ball. I would have never been interested in her. Like, her demeanor sucks ass. Like, she's this, she's that. I'm adding more to it, but he was being rude, and it makes her cry. And I was like, yo, Adam, like, you're sick. You're sick. I really did not like that. I get it. You think that she was being rude, but being rude back to her is definitely not going to fix the situation. So then he gives a half-ass apology, and I'm just like, ew. And again, to the lady in the audience, this is your man? This is the man that you want to cape for? Embarrassing. So then, this happened beforehand. I'm just remembering it now, though. The room was asked, like, I think it was Felipe who asked the room, oh, who felt that Courtney was being disrespectful? All the guys raised their hands. And Courtney is like, oh, here it goes. It's the guy show, da-da-da, whatever. And all the girls disagreed that she was being disrespectful. I didn't like that. I had felt throughout the season that the girls didn't do enough calling each other out, whether that's being complacent in certain situations or being rude to their partner when they did not have to be, especially because they were so vocal when the men were doing certain things. You know, I'm seeing a trend because that happened on Love Island as well. It was really frustrating to me how none of the women wanted to point out any instance where Courtney was being rude, when Courtney herself has said on social media she was being rude and disrespectful. But anyways, Courtney says she does have a man now. They met playing pickleball. So, all right, she found her alpha. You know, he doesn't give that, but neither here nor there. Next was Caitlyn and Devon. Their segment was actually very short. Devon showed up in his wedding suit with the sunglasses and everything. The only difference is that his hair no longer has the frosted tips. And they're asked about their relationship, like what really went wrong. Caitlyn says they had a lot of juvenile arguments stemming from Cancun. That gym thing was something that she just could not get over. And that's where she had the 180 in her relationship, and she struggled to be present with Devon.
Do you feel like your heart was ever fully in it?
Yeah, absolutely. I really do feel like that. We would have a lot of really good days. To be honest, there was a lot of whiplash. Devon is a lot better at bouncing back after those than I am.
The entire experience has been hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold.
There was just a lot contributing to that. Red, green, yellow, red, green, yellow. I totally was.
Caitlyn does say she's the type of person who wants to handle things off camera instead of on camera. And I do get that, but you guys came on a public platform. Like, if the people are trying to help you, you have to bring your problems to the public. Like, not necessarily to the cameras, but at least be honest to the experts. At the very least. At the very least. Be honest with the experts so that they can help you. But yeah, she does say that there was a lot going on behind the scenes that she deliberately did not bring on camera. She also does admit that off camera, they barely hung out. Barely. Now, she denies when Devon says that they never hung out. That couldn't possibly be true, Devon. Like, please don't be speaking in absolutes, because that's not true. But she does say, yeah, they barely hung out. And so, yeah, the connect just wasn't there. She also does admit that she was sending him mixed signals. Like, truly, what are we doing? Why the hell did you come on this show? The experts do think that they would have worked out if they had met organically and taken their time, but being in the process was just not conducive with the way that Caitlyn dates. So they were just always, you know, gonna clash. She does say that the attraction to Devon was real. They were just missing that X factor, and yeah, things ended the way that they did. Devon is currently single, but Caitlyn is dating somebody. He's not in the crowd because he's at a wedding, but she says she wouldn't have brought him anyways. Devon says he's happy for her. Let's move on. Last was Shawn and Nikki. Wow. Wow. So Nikki says that her type is somebody who was taller, is somebody who's more fit. However, she did say to the experts that she is prioritizing other things such as integrity and kindness and whatever. So to the people who want to just fight on Nikki's behalf, she didn't get what she wanted and everybody else got what they wanted. She made it clear that she's prioritizing things higher than looks. So in part, that's on her. In part, that's on her. The experts still could have given her somebody who was more her type. Like, come on, man, like try, at least try. Anyways, Shawn says that he included his family and friends in this process. Nikki does agree. They had a lot of conversations with family. He even invited his nephew and the nephew's girlfriend and stuff. So he was really invested in this like it was a real marriage. She, however, said that she didn't want to bring her family into this. And it's likely because she did not see longevity with Shawn.
What would you have told him?
Hopefully he's a good human being. Protect her. And in that, I didn't see that.
First of all, I want to say, I'm sorry. I don't know what it's like to be a parent. Came off as if I wasn't trying to protect Nikki. That's what you feel, and that it's not the way that I was raised by my mom. You are owed an apology for that. Your family is the backbone to help you get back on track. I was hoping that she would rely on her family to help make the marriage successful. I would have loved to connect with you. If we had a chance to actually connect. I really wish I had time to have spent with you.
Shawn definitely knew what he was doing when he was talking to Nikki's mother. He's kind of like trying to say, I'm not going to take accountability for what you're apparently trying to crucify me for, but also, your daughter was the problem, and I'm trying not to say that, but I'm basically saying that, you know, like, I really tried. I was invested in this. I wanted to speak to you more. I wish you got to see me in this light. I just wasn't given the opportunity to. In a roundabout way, he is pointing at Nikki without pointing at Nikki. So Nikki gets irritated because she's like, yo, don't bring my mother into this. Like, you want her to detail all the ways that you disrespected me, but you can see it clear as day where you disrespected me. It's not up to my mom to prove to you how you were disrespectful. And I do agree. Like, we definitely see a lot of moments where he was being rude and disrespectful. Like, be so for real. Nikki says it's unfortunate that in a year she hasn't seen any growth in Shawn. I don't think I'm seeing much growth from either of them. I'll be honest. Like, yes, he doesn't take accountability, but I haven't seen her take accountability either. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that it was just Shawn, and she was never disrespectful and never whatever. And I bring this up because Dr. Paz wants to ask people how they felt about the Seattle comment, and it's all the girls who voiced their opinions saying that it was so distasteful, it was so out of line. And Shawn is like, yes, but there was context to that. Yes, I should not have said it. There, however, was context that led to me saying that. And I think that she said that to retaliate against what I said. The girls are like, no, what you said was wrong, whatever the context was, what you said was wrong. And Nikki herself, I don't see her copying up to what she could have said in that conversation. She says, that's not even like me to say anything like that. I don't believe that. I definitely think she could have done or said something to the effect of what Shawn is saying, but anyways, the guys then chime in when they talk about the sexual advances that Shawn was trying to make. They thought that it was very creepy. It was definitely out of line. It could easily make people feel uncomfortable. Definitely wish the experts called that out more. Everybody agrees that the way that he was speaking made everybody feel uncomfortable. Obviously, Nikki included. He does apologize for the way that he made her feel, but then he goes and he explains it away. And the guys said that they were disappointed in him because he was advising all the guys, hey, just shut up and take accountability. But here he is doing anything but that. Dr. Paz asks if there's anything nice they want to say and or, don't forget the or, because I know some people are going to be like, oh, she's forcing them to be nice. She didn't say that. She said, or do you want to mention any positive things that you've taken away from this process? Nikki's like, I have no more compliments to say about this man, and I don't care for his niceties, period. Why should you care? Why should you care? He was rude and disrespectful. We don't need to give him any more airtime. He says that he appreciated that he was partnered up with a Black woman. You saw Nikki like get irritated about that. I think there's more context to like her saying that, because I was like, okay, he didn't say you're just a Black woman. She was like, I'm more than a Black woman. Like, yes, but also like he was glad that he was partnered up with the Black. Anyways, he says he also liked that she was also ambitious, successful, and she has a great relationship with her mother. I think that was shade, but anyways, they are both single, and Shawn says that he has a lot of tall Leslie Jones-esque women in his DMs. Sure. And then the episode ends with Cameron speaking about how happy he is to be with somebody who stuck by him even through his insecurities. And then Michelle opens up about her fertility journey.
You know, my case was just so bad. While I wish that my life was different, it's made me realize that there are a lot of women out there who go through fibroids or endometriosis, and I ended up getting a hysterectomy. We'll definitely be looking into surrogacy.
We feel so grateful that you shared this part of it. Thank you you so much for letting us in.
It's sad to see that things haven't gone the way that Michelle wished they would go. Obviously, we know that she wanted to have kids. I'm pretty sure she had even frozen her eggs before coming on the show. So seeing that her case had gotten so bad to the point where she needed to get a hysterectomy is sad. She does say that she's come to terms with it, but I know 2 women personally who have had hysterectomies, and it's a long journey. It's like a real grieving process, right? So I think it's going to take time for her to truly be resolved with those feelings, but they did say that they're open to surrogacy, so I love that for them. At least we got one couple out of this, child, and the couple that should have been married. Out of everybody who was partnered up together, these 2 should have stayed married. They definitely made the most progress. Everybody else, thank God y'all are broken up. Thank God. So that's it. The next season is in Charlotte, which I think is in North Carolina. I don't know, guys. I'm not American. And the experts are coming out with a podcast. I'm not surprised. I'm not even going to put that on the experts. That's definitely Peacock trying to milk every single show possible. Like, they are really, like, woo, looking at all these shows as cash cows now. It's irritating, but here we are. Anyways, that's it from me. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Wow. I sat here for an hour, guys. Hopefully I can cut this down to like 30 minutes.